July the 11th of 2022, I was riding my motorcycle heading to work. I was working at Lowe's hardware store at the time.
You need a working capital for your business. We can get you 50 to 25 million in just 24 to 72 hours. And you can use the money for your business expansion, equipment taxes, renovation, inventory, marketing for your business, emergency business expenses, etc. If you are a medical practice, restaurant, liquor store, moving company, pool service, we can fund you in just 24 to 72 hours. We do not fund lawyers or pawn companies and no default deals. All you need to qualify is $50,000 monthly revenue, turn in 3 to 6 months of business bank statements or processing statements, and a completed application. If you have bankruptcy, we can work with you. If you have a 500 FICO score, we can work with you. We can work with tax liens as well. And here are some other companies that we funded. All you got to do is click the link and take it to the application, fill out the form. One of our finance representatives will get back to you in just 24 hours. Thank you.
I never make it to work. I got in this accident, didn't see this accident, didn't see this guy coming at me. This accident happened in a twinkling of an eye. It happened so fast. This guy was overtaking another vehicle and he ran headlong into me. The next thing I know is when I was in the hospital. When I regained consciousness in the hospital, from what the doctor told me and the nurse and the paramedic, what they told me, when they picked me up at the scene of the accident, they said, "You were dead." They said, "You've lost so many blood, you're covered from head to toe with blood." When I was in the hospital, when they do what they had to do to reinstate me, they lost me a couple times. They had me in life support. Gotta keep losing me. So I was in and out of, I don't know, I guess you want to say a coma or whatever, in case you want to put it. But I was lost. They couldn't get me to come back. My heart gave up, my lungs gave up, everything gave up on me. Anyway, during this time, when I had this accident, when this accident took place, I was walking like how the sky is. I was elevated off the ground. And I was walking and all of a sudden I slid, I want to slid, I fall into this ditch. And this ditch that I fall into, it was a dark pit. And I was unconscious when I fall in this pit. I want to regain consciousness and try to get up. I was laying on top of a bunch of different snakes. And I was trying to get up. These snakes, they're trying to snap at me. But when I looked up from where I fall, there was a ladder reach down. And I climbed up this ladder. And I was climb up this ladder. And I keep going up this ladder. Something grabbed me in my hands. And they flipped me into a deeper pit. And this deeper pit where I went is where I saw people in hell. They're burning in flames of fire. And I saw people in there, they're screaming, because they're torment in this place of flame, fire, they're burning. And I couldn't recognize anybody that I've seen in hell because they were in fire. Fire is all surrounded them. And I'm in the pit with them in hell. But I'm not burning, they're burning. But I can see them, but I can't recognize them. Some of them, they have like when you barbecue a chicken and it burnt, they're pulling the scalp off the face, and the smell of these people smells so bad. The entire hell smells bad. And then there's two figures of Satan that I met. One was demon and one was Satan. The Satan told me that here's where it belongs. And I said, no, that doesn't belong here. And the demon came and he told me, he said, we need your soul. I said, you cannot have my soul either because I am not going to stay here with you guys. That doesn't belong here.
There you go.
At that point, when I say this back and forth, I'm arguing back and forth with Satan and the devil in hell. The appearance of them is like the face figure. It's like they're horrible looking. Looks like you can't look at their face, so I put it that way. Evil. You can see the evil in them,
I got to give him credit because you could tell that English is not his first language and he's doing a great job explaining what he saw. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. And one other thing I want to add is do not think that if you find yourself in hell, that arguing with the demons would help you in any way, shape, or form. If God did not rescue him, no, he's not coming out to tell us this beautiful testimony. So, yeah, keep that in mind.
Eyes is like fire. They have horn, like if you see a cow, the horn is just extended at the side, both sides of them. That's how they look like, and they're horrible to look at. But I wasn't scared of them, But I'm just there with them, and I'm just, as I said, I'm fighting back and forth with them. I don't want to be in a place like this because it's not a place that you want to be comfortable to be in, After seeing what these people is going through in hell, nobody will want to be in a place like that. I mean, I have not feel any pain like what these people are feeling in there. I just happen to be there to with these people, and I'm watching them suffer in this torment, but I have not feel any pain. It's a dark place where I went through. I can see there's other entrance that lead into other area of hell where I went to. Mm-hmm. Because I see there's a lot of places in hell that I saw, but what I really see that what I can understand, through my mind, what I've seen is these people that I've seen that are in torture, that are in hell, that's suffering. But the other people that I've seen is, yes, I've seen them and they look horrible and they smell bad. I just have to have a glimpse of what it looks like. I couldn't recognize anybody that I seen there because they, as I said, they were burning. I can see them in flame. But I didn't recognize anybody, and I couldn't even talk to anyone that where I was in hell. All I do, I'm seeing what I see. There was smell of these people that were in hell. The smell in hell is terrible. The smell. Like it's like it's, as I said, it's like when a chicken is, when you barbecue a chicken and overburn. But that's how these people are. But the smell,
burnt smell, sulfur,
it's horrible smell. You can't really stand the way.
Beyond that, I'm sure.
It smells terrible. I can't even describe the smell, what it's kind of look like. It smells like, but it smells terrible. The demons that I seen, the first one that I seen was Satan. The second one was a demon by himself. So Satan is the one that was talking to me. Satan was pretty, he's tall. He's taller than I am. I'll say probably 10 to 12 feet tall. He's pretty tall.
The way he said he's tall. He's taller than I am. He makes it seem like he's like 7 feet tall. And the devil is like 10 or 12 feet tall. He's taller than I am. Like, you're thinking about it as if the difference in height is close. It's not even close. He's probably like 5'7", 5'8", maybe 6 foot, but still 6 foot. Even if he were 6 foot, 6 foot to 10 to 12 foot is a huge difference.
He's telling me that here's where I belongs, with them. And I said, no, I doesn't belong here. And then is when I went and saw the other devil, and he's the one said, we need your soul. And I said, no, you can't have my soul. So I keep arguing with them back and forth.
That's what's up.
But they realize that they can't overcome me because I keep fighting and arguing with them. So they couldn't overcome me.
Right.
Here, at that point, after Satan couldn't overcome me, is when that ladder reached down. And I was climbing up this ladder, and I was going up into the sky. An angel grabbed me when I going up the second ladder.
Oh, wow.
From that pit.
Boom, you see that? Who sent the ladder and who sent the angel, if not God? You understand what I mean? You ain't coming out of hell on your own. You ain't coming out of hell by arguing that you're right or they can't have your soul, blah, blah, blah. You ain't coming out. If God does not send help or help you himself, you ain't coming out. Just so you know.
It's like a metal ladder. It's like galvanized, like steel or something, When I keep going up this ladder, it's like I'm not reaching where I'm going, but I keep climbing. And as I keep climbing, an angel grabbed me, or I'm reaching up into the sky. And where I met with an angel that grabbed me, and he pulled me up in that ladder. And I was end up in heaven, visit with angels in a beautiful garden where I saw a bunch of angels. And these angels, they were singing. It's a different feeling. It's a total different atmosphere. A total different feeling. A feeling of peace, comfort. And the angels, they're pretty tall. They're taller than I am. These angels is probably like 2 to 3 times of my length. They're pretty tall angels. And a lot of people describe angel with wings. No. The angels that I've seen, none of them has wings. They're just
wings.
Angels that have long white garments, bright shining garment.
And that's a misconception we have here on earth, because most of us have not seen angels, right? But yeah, they don't need wings to fly. Think about it. Come on. Angels don't need wings to fly. They're supernatural beings. But I'm sure there's a purpose for the wings, the ones that have wings, right? But not all of them have wings, of course not.
That you can't even.
It's going to be boring.
The garment is so bright and shine like the sun. But you can see them. You can see the angels, And they're beautiful. I mean, they're beautiful human beings, spirits, I assume. Very beautiful. God took me to hell based on the prayer of my parents.
That's funny, the way he talks.
And my mom and dad always keep praying for me and my family. They always keep praying that God is going to bring you to him, in his way. And due to my parents' prayer is what probably took me to hell, so God can show me what hell is all about.
Right.
And took me to heaven based on the prayer of my parents.
Wow.
God never give up on me. When he took me, he grabbed my hands and he said, this is heaven. I was walking, having a view of what this heaven is all about. When I saw these angels over on my left, I saw these bunch of angels who were in a beautiful garden. And in this garden, they were singing. These angels were singing. Beautiful. And I mean, I could never hear anybody sing like this. They sing so beautiful. And then I look over to the right side of me, and I saw this person standing there, but I couldn't recognize who it is, because it was bright like the sun, like on the mountain in Transfiguration. And Jesus, it was like the Transfiguration. He was bright like the sun, but I wasn't sure if this was Jesus or not. But I walked up to him. And when I walked up to him, I reached out and grabbed his foot. And I said, in myself, subconscious mind, something is telling me this got to be Jesus. And I began to talk to him. I said, you're Jesus. He said, yes, I am Jesus.
Oh, wow.
And I began conversating with him, and he says, this is heaven. And he said, this is heaven. And then I look over in the right side of me, And Jesus was walking with me in the other side where I went, and he took me in this big conference room. In this conference room he took me is where I saw this chair that was in this conference room is gold. Everything is gold. The table is all gold. The rim around the table is gold. And there was a basket of fruits that was on top of this table. And Jesus said, this fruits is prepared for you. Go ahead and eat. So I took one of the fruit and I ate it. You know, it was a very tasty, delicious fruit. At that point, Jesus, I didn't see him back. But I was in there. And then I went back to have a second view where I saw these angels to see, you know, what these angels really are doing in this garden. And when I went back there to look at these angels, they were all looking at me and they were smiling with me. But it's so beautiful up in heaven. I will advise anybody to do what they have to do to make it into heaven, because heaven is a place that is a different feeling. It's a place of a different comfort, you know, and it's just a beautiful atmosphere, beautiful place to be. There's trees you can see up there. There are beautiful trees of different fruits, you know. There's you can see like lakes up there, you know, water fountain and stuff like that. It's very beautiful. It's like if you look back in the story of the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, paradise. Well, heaven is a place like paradise, like the Garden of Eden. It was so beautiful.
I'm going to stop there, but I'm glad that you guys tuned in to watch, and I would say that everyone needs to understand that this is a serious matter. No matter what you experience here on earth, the spiritual realm exists, whether you believe it or not. So we believe as Christians that we came from the Lord, you know, to this earth to have expression of will, expression of gifts, and the callings that he has upon our lives that will eventually turn out to glorify his name and shame the devil, right? But the point is that we're not here to stay. We're aliens, immigrants of the earth. We belong with him. Unfortunately, we still have to choose to go back to him, right? Because it's his house, his rules. So his rule is that you have to accept Jesus. So we encourage you to accept Jesus and do great things for him. You know, stand in the gap. Don't be afraid of death. Believe strongly. Seek the word to have an understanding of who he is and how he operates and stuff like that. But this is the Akudo experience. I would like you to comment, like, share, put your thoughts in. Do you believe in heaven? Do you believe in hell? You know, you can disagree, you can agree, whatever it is, but let us know what you think, you know, and we'll see you on the next video. All right.